Hey everyone. So, despite what some of you may think, you don't actually have to be an extrovert to do what I do and build your own Arbonne business. You do not have to be an extrovert to share products with someone, to talk to someone, to reach out, to make a friend, and to share this business model with anyone. And I can say this from experience because I am one. I am an introvert. And that might be hard for some people who are a lot more introverted than me to actually see. But I have recently just finished a book called Quiet. I'll pop a link to it in the description below, but it was recommended to me from a business associate, and thank goodness that she did recommend it to me because I realized that I'm not alone, that I'm not a freak, that there's a lot of people out there who are cripplingly shy. And introversion comes in all different shapes and forms. I think that's the biggest takeaway that I got from that book. And that actually it can be powerful. It can be like a superpower. So you guys know, if you've watched any of my videos on YouTube or on IGTVs, then you have probably heard me talk about the fact that I am an empath. And that contributed, I guess, to my introversion. But I've always been someone who is slow to warm up. I'm quite in my shell. I'm a Cancer, I'm a crab. So I'm quite in my shell to begin with until I've observed a situation and felt like it was safe to come out and like it was safe for my personality to come out. So a lot of people have actually said to me in the past, like maybe if we're, so for example, one particular event, it was a week-long event. I was doing some NLP training and I knew like 3 people in the room, and then the other 20 never met before in my life. By the end of the week, ew, go away. By the end of the week, I had people coming up to me saying, like, on the first day, I thought you were someone, sorry, there's a fly. I thought you were someone completely different. And now I feel like I know you, I completely understand where you were coming from. So don't be too quick to judge an introvert if you're an extroverted person and you're watching this. But also if you are an introvert, don't be too quick to judge yourself. And don't be too quick to write off that you can do things or you can't do things, as it might be, in terms of you actually can build an Arbonne business. And I want to get straight into that. So I can talk more about empathy and empathic people. Get your words out, Sam. In another video, ask your questions about that below, and then I will formulate a video around that. But Quiet, the book, I highly recommend that. And I am an introvert who has learnt through necessity how to bring out my personality and how to have some confidence, and almost, I guess it's faking it until you make it, to be honest, but practicing. It's practicing it until you make it. So I practiced my confidence from an early age. I practiced speaking to people. I was a dance teacher quite young, so I had to talk to lots of adults with no other adult around to kind of direct me on how to do that. So I had to figure out a lot of things quite early on, but not just like in a job sense, but in like a socializing sense as well. Going to school, I found like a lot of people were quite extroverted. I was a bit of a teacher's pet, and that's what they called me because they didn't understand me. However, I admire all the people who have confidence. So I would model their confidence. And that is how I learned how to answer phones at jobs. And that is how I learned how to give presentations and how to actually do speech and drama quite successfully. How to be a dancer. I loved being on stage. I still love being on stage. I don't find the actual being on stage threatening. I find the minutes before you get on stage quite terrifying, but I really enjoy it. So I've really learnt about myself, a lot of self-awareness to find out my strengths and weaknesses. And in fact, when I heard about the Arbonne business, it was a one-to-one conversation that truly captured my attention about it. So a friend sent me a really long Facebook message. That was my first introduction to Arbonne. And I was like, too busy to even read that. Like, what is she talking about? And then she was actually in my hometown and she said, Sam, do you want to get a drink? I need to talk to you about this business. And I was like, sure. I was in business, so I wanted to know about business, but also I wanted to see her and I wanted to have a drink with her. And it wasn't like she was inviting me to a big event, which maybe could have been different. If I was interested enough, would I have gone? Perhaps. But she sat me down and she told me about her goals and dreams because she knew that we had similar goals and dreams. And that actually painted like a really cool picture for me. I'm an artist, and so I really like to have a vision painted for me, and everyone is different. So I actually built my business from then. When I said, yes, I'm doing this, I built my business over chai lattes. So face to face with people, very much so. And then I created a community for people to bring people to hear more about the business in a safe space. So we then moved on to like a room inside a tavern, and we had people explaining their stories and saying, this is how I felt. I was absolutely against it, but then when I heard exactly how it works and how different it really is, then I really realized. And when I saw the community and the friends, and when I realized I didn't have to be a robot, when I realized I could do this, bring my personality in, there was no like uniform you had to put on, in like metaphorically as well. But as long as I could bring my 10% to the systems of Arbonne, so the systems of telling the truth, transparency, authenticity, but also like there's certain systems, thank goodness, to how to run a business. And Arbonne actually comes with like a set of systems and so many great tools online and offline that we can connect in with to educate ourselves and educate the people that we are asking to take a look. So over all of these chai lattes, I mean, even when I built the community and we had like nights where people would get up and share their stories, we had people crying in the audience. We had people like actually start to see what was possible for their lives in the audience. But I continued, and a lot of us do continue to have these one-to-one, face-to-face, or face-to-face via Zoom if you're not, in Australia, where we can still share this one-to-one. We can still be curious and ask lots of really good questions and pick up on things. I think that's the most important part of me sharing this business one-to-one mostly, is that I really like to pick up on subtleties between people. So when someone's telling me about their job or telling me about their family, if there's something that really sparks joy in them, I want to ask more about that. And how do you get more of that in your life? Because I can see that really makes you happy. Or if there's something that brings them sadness that they'd like to change, or some frustration that they'd like to change, then that could be something we dive into to find out, what is your drive? Because people are usually running away from something that hurts them or running towards something that excites them, pleasure, right? So you don't have to do Arbonne because something isn't working. You can do Arbonne because you're happy and you want more happiness. But these one-to-ones allow us to truly connect with people. And do you know what? Social media, robots, they're never going to replace that. And so I'm very, very grateful for this Arbonne opportunity, allowing me to be who I am, allowing me to practice my confidence, allowing me to bring out my strengths, but also allowing me to link arms with other introverts and show them what's possible, and to help them to see how amazing they can be as well. I feel like there might be a part 2 to this, so let's continue this chat in another video. But if you have questions about this heart about what I've said so far, and no one has actually introduced you to the Arbonne opportunity yet, and it sounds like something that you would like to take a look at, then definitely reach out to me. I don't bite. I know that I am not in the convincing business at all. I am simply in the conversation business. If you want to have a conversation about how this could work for you, please reach out to me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.